Well, what do you know? I think we hit it right at the top of the hour. It's very, very good to see you, Amir and Brian. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. Thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be here at Houston at the Elevate IT event. We've had a great day today. I have to admit, it's been a long day, but I am really excited about what Amir has to plan to share with us tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into that. And I'll do an introduction of Amir in just a moment as well. So first of all, yes, as I told the folks here in multiple sessions today, we're back. AITP's brand was given back to AITP by CompTIA back in April. So we're reconstituting the brand yet again that started in 1951. So Brian, what are the value propositions for leaders that are looking for networking in the state of Texas, Lone Star?
That's right. Thanks, Mike. So this is a great opportunity for many IT professionals at any level, really, to network and build relationships with leaders and leaders of other industries and other companies in the Lone Star State. We have a lot of different companies that work with us from Dallas to Austin to Houston, which is really the best region. I would say I'm a little biased, but the best region
Absolutely.
for the best region for IT professionals and industry, and really building relationships with understanding and learning about people, the different people, the processes that we have, and the business processes as well as the technology. And we have so much great technology here in the state that companies are utilizing and leveraging for their business process. And it's a great way to learn. And these partner events give you an insight to building those relationships in your network, building your network out, which is vital during your career. You will want that for sure as you grow and learn through the process. So.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you now, if you're on LinkedIn or if you're on Facebook, X, or YouTube, to go ahead and subscribe to us wherever you are. That gives you Little M membership. And at the end of the evening tonight, we'll talk a little bit about real membership and what that looks like. So thanks very much, Brian. It was my pleasure to get to know Amir Tabei. I don't know, how many years ago was it at AidMatrix? 10 years ago or more?
Oh, it's more than that. It's about 17.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I forget sometimes how long I've known my good friends. But as a member of the Dallas Museum of Art for many years, I am excited that Amir is the CIO there. We worked at AidMatrix, and he does some incredible work. So I was on my way there. I had a friend coming in from California, Sam Gallucci, and I said he had to go downtown for a meeting, and I was going to be dropping him off from the airport. I said, hey, let's stop and have lunch at the museum. And as I was driving in there, I texted Amir and said, hey, Amir, I'm dropping by with a really good friend of mine who made a big difference in my life, kind of basically brought me from the IT world into the consulting world, 25 years ago. I'd love you to meet him. And he came down, and he and Sam hit it off amazingly, which everybody hits it off with Sam. But Amir told us some cool things that he was doing at the museum that I didn't know as a member. So I invited him to come on. So he's going to talk about those things that he's doing. But I have a bio that I'd like to read because I think it does a really good job of not only introducing Amir, but kind of telling you the passion of his life and why he does what he does. So Amir is an innovative chief information officer at one of America's top 10 art museums, with over 25 years of leadership in the technology sector, particularly within nonprofits. He has dedicated much of his career to providing SaaS applications that support disaster aid, hunger relief, and healthcare organizations. Amir's passion for using technology to drive social impact has shaped his vision for leveraging cutting-edge tools to serve diverse communities. At the museum, Amir has spearheaded transformation projects that bridge the gap between art and the digital age. His AI art detection initiative to allow visitors to access rich multilingual content via their smartphones is a testament to his commitment to inclusivity and accessibility in the arts. His extensive background in nonprofit technology leadership has fueled his dedication to making art and culture more accessible to all. His work has earned him recognition as a finalist for the Emerging Company Innovation Award at the prestigious Tech Titan ceremony. That's going to happen tomorrow night, and I predict that you're going to win. So looking ahead, Amir's visionary roadmap includes a conversation with art, an ambitious project that will allow museum visitors to interact with art objects using generative AI, creating new opportunities for education and engagement. Throughout his career, Amir has led with humility and focus on collaboration. He credits much of his success to the support of his talented IT team, museum staff, and museum leadership behind his initiatives. Beyond his role at the museum, Amir continues to explore how AI and technology can enrich the cultural sector and improve accessibility of the arts while staying true to his roots in social impact through technology. So I can't tell you how excited, Amir, that I am to have you join us tonight. So thanks very much for coming. And I'm going to bring your slides up and give you the stage. It's yours. Go.
Well, that sounds like somebody I really like to meet, but seriously, I'm just happy to be here and not locked in some server room. All of those amazing things that you heard, that's the result of my smart people around me. I just get to push some buttons, maybe wave my hands, and occasionally take the credit. So, but thank you for the warm welcome, Mike. Appreciate it.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
All right, so let's dive in. 6 years ago, when I walked into the DMA as their new head of technology, one day I was walking in the basement where our storage is, and I saw a bunch of empty crates. And I started examining these crates, and I realized they were the crates that the art was shipped for an exhibition that we were having. And I noticed how fascinating it was because these crates were full of stamps from all over the world. I mean, this piece, the art has been in Japan, it's been in Germany, and it just traveled all over the world. And now here it is in Dallas. I started to think that there ought to be so much story that comes with these objects during its lifetime going around the world. There ought to be more to learn and appreciate art just beside looking at the beautiful art. So that's how my digital transformation roadmap started to form. But before we get into the details, a little background about DMA, if you don't mind. Next slide. We began this journey more than 120 years ago as the art committee of the public library. That's the first black and white picture you see on the left side. That's where our collection was displayed until 1909. We eventually outgrew our space in the library, but we never lost our sense of wonder and discovery. So located in the nation's largest art district right now, which is the picture in the middle, DMA is the catalyst for community creativity. We have exhibits, diverse spectrum of programs, lectures, concerts, and dramatic performances. Last year, we began the Reimagining the Dallas Museum of Art initiative, and that would be the picture to your right, and where we're going to be revitalize the DMA's campus to better serve our diverse community. The current museum is closed off, siloed. The new museum is going to be all about opening it up. And so when we open up the museum, physical museum, our art and objects should also open up and be more accessible. So how does an art museum improve accessibility to art using technology, you may ask? And we will go to the next slide. Little background: by the start of the last decade, our collection had grown to over 20,000 objects, but only 10% of the objects were on display at any time. and currently it's about 26,000 objects. But by beginning of the 2014, we received a very generous donation from the O'Donnell Foundation to digitalize them. Each work was brought up into the studio, unboxed, assembled, arranged, and photographed in high resolution from a variety of angles. And we documented everything electronically and published it online. Several $1 million were invested in this effort, and it took 3 years. But for the first time since the early 20th century, the public could view our entire collection. Moving forward, as the pandemic closed the world in 2020, we opened our collection. We launched virtual galleries online. That year, with the second grant from the O'Donnell Foundation, we were able to also make them more accessible through the adoption of IIIF International Interoperability Image Framework. That's what it stands for. And we also began to integrating some artificial intelligence into our workflow to make better use of our human resources. For example, our first use of AI was to localize content. Historically, we would translate a small fraction of our content into Spanish, like press releases or exhibition landing pages. But now we use AI to translate everything at the point of creation. And we make better use of our human resources just for proof and editing. So 5 years ago, I want to make sure if you go to the next or the previous slide, Mike. I want to make sure we're looking at the International Image Interoperability Framework. Oh, one more. So 5 years ago, I attended the Museum and Web conference in San Diego and became familiar with this new standard that was forming. And DMA became the 12th institution with this consortium, which is now about 60 worldwide and growing. Go to the next slide, please. So IIIF is a way to standardize the delivery of image and audiovisual files from servers to different environments on the web. And the modern web browsers understand how to display formats like a JPEG or MP4s at a defined size, but cannot do much else. The IIIF specifications define how all browsers work to enable richer functionality beyond viewing an image. For example, incredible deep zooming, which is so important for art museum, comparison, structures, and annotation. But one of the important pieces of this diagram, if you look under the presentation API, is the manifest creation, which is in the middle of the diagram. On the next slide, I'll talk about what a manifest is, which is so important. The manifest basically a description of the structure and the properties of the compound object. It carries the information needed for the client to present the content to the user, such as title and other descriptive information about the object or the intellectual work that it conveys. Each manifest usually describes how to present a single compound object as a book or a statue or even a music album. Next slide, please. The way the IIIF manifest is created is completely automated. If you look in the bottom of the slide, left side, our staff, which is mostly the curators and the curator's assistant, we'll use a couple of applications at DMA. One is a collection management system where all the raw data for the object is. And then the second one is the digital asset management system where the media for the objects are. And Gartner is an application that we developed that basically collects all those inputs and sends them through an API to our Amazon Web Services, and the IIIF manifests are created in real time and stored in our CloudFront. Currently, all of our 26,000 objects online have a IIIF manifest, so you can see a IIIF. If you go to dma.org, for example, go to our collection, and you're looking at an object, there will be a IIIF button next to each object. Now, if you're a researcher and you're probably using something fancy like a Sea-Dragon browser, then you can actually copy the manifest URL and do all of your annotations in that browser. If just a regular visitor, you can right-click on that IIIF button and open it in a universal browser. When you do so, you'll be presented with the image, and then you be presented with all the content about the artist and the image on the right side. You can also annotate, you can manipulate the piece, you can make it black and white, you can draw on it, and you can also bring other manifests from other museums who use IIIF and compare art side by side or annotate them together. But the beauty is that when you save that as your workspace, and a week from now, a curator will make a change in our online collection, again, your information will be corrected on a real-time basis through the API. On slide
Amir,
yes.
Sorry for interrupting you, but can you take this to a practical art attendees benefit level? You know, what is it that the art attendee gets that they didn't have before? What is the real innovation here? I understand the technology.
Sure. So we have to talk about different audience. So our universities and the researchers mostly will benefit more from IIIF because, like I said, they could be using it for research and they could annotate for each object and save them as a workspace and refer back to them. They could use it for teaching in schools. But as a visitor, the IIIF, in my opinion, the most value it brings is the deep zooming. I mean, you'd be amazed that you would see areas on the painting that you may have not seen it by eye when you were at the museum. But these deep zooming is very amazing.
Like the brush strokes or the scalpel strokes, whatever it is that the
you'll see.
So
we were. So this is interesting that you said that. We were examining one painting, and I forgot it was a European artist from the 1800s, and we actually saw the artist's fingerprint on the art using the zooming. And we went actually back to the gallery. I stood in front of the art, and I tried to find the fingerprint, and I couldn't find it.
Couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I suppose you could filter it with different color lights and things like that too, right? So that you could see different complexities.
You could do that with some specific browsers, like the one I mentioned, Sea-Dragon, but with the universal browsers, you have some functionality too as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. So now about the next step of using AI to connect the galleries to online. So what we talked about was what we've done so far in our online collection. What we're doing now, and the project that we're completing now, is connecting the actual galleries to our online collection. And I'll talk about that on slide 8. So our current effort coming during Q4 of this year is to extend that media, that wealth of localized content I talked about in the galleries. Basically, museum visitors using their mobile devices will be able to identify works and access for more information in any language that is possible. You cannot get that on a little 5x7 card next to your art in the museum.
Right.
But not only this improves the access to art, it also improves our data quality. And let me explain that. Our visitors identify object, and our models are incrementally trained using those images, ensuring accurate results regardless of changes of venue or lighting condition. I can take the iceberg, our very famous, or most famous painting iceberg on the second floor, and I could take it to a local Starbucks, and our model will be able to recognize it and still return all that information to your smartphone. So additionally, the data gathered from these interactions will provide us with information vital to exhibition planning and object arrangement. And it will create heat maps of gallery spaces. We will have so much data as far as what pieces, what genre of art is, or people are most interested. What part of the museum is higher traffic or lower traffic. So it will give us the data for back end to be able to do better exhibitions as well. And also it will eventually help identify and resolve errors within our object management and digital media system that we talked about.
So Amir, another question. So you're getting information from the visitor. Are you also getting demographic information from the visitor so that you can see what the differences on demographics are for those different patterns that you recognized?
So we do have some demographics when the visitors enter the museum via our ticketing system, but we are not connecting them to the art detection. So we may know as far as your gender, your age, and whatnot, but nothing personal information.
Yeah. It's worth thinking about.
Absolutely. So what's next? That would be actually, if you go to slide 9, I'd like to talk about two different applications. So we developed two applications, one called ArtCap, which is short for art capture, and that's for training the AI. And the second application is Art Detect, and that's our AI art detection. The ArtCap is, we would love to gamify it and have the museum visitor actually use it to train the AI, in return receive badges. And with those badges, they will qualify for discount in museum store, in museum cafe, or receive a discounted exhibition or performance tickets. And the second application, Art Detect, is where you actually use to detect art. So if you look at the slide on the left side, in the physical gallery, the visitor will scan the object, which is using the AWS recognition module. It would match the object ID from that recognition and grab the manifest we talked about, which is in English. If the user has chosen another language on their phone, it will run that manifest through the AWS Translate and return the content to their phone. From there on, they can just walk around from one object to another object and basically have all that information on their fingertip.
Wow. Pretty awesome. So you're basically getting your guests to become part-time staff members to provide you with information about the art.
we're a non-profit organization with limited resources, so it takes a village. Village is a Dallas community.
Whatever works.
Yeah. And so finally, what's next on the final slide that I'd like to talk about? My final piece of roadmap would be what I call the conversation with art. And I'd like to take it to the next level with 4 different things that I'm thinking about. First, from a data foundation perspective, I need to enrich my existing collection metadata with more contextual information. This means creating or integrating a large knowledge base that goes beyond what's currently available. Historical context, art criticism, symbolism, and even personal stories about the artist or that period. And the second piece will be the Gen AI integration. Leveraging applications like GPT-4 can help answer open-ended questions from visitors. And using API integration on the back end, we could allow visitors to engage in a conversation flow where the Gen AI can respond based on the art piece in question to even make it feel more likely they're talking to an object. The answers could be framed in the first person, offering insight from the art's perspective. And of course, the speech recognition is important since visitors will be using their phone. Incorporating speech-to-text capabilities could enable voice-activated questions, further enhancing the interactive experience. And finally, the language flexibility, which I'm already focused on multilingual content, but Gen AI model can also help to scale that by returning conversation in different languages as well.
Very, very cool. So the $1 million question, when is this awesomeness available?
So the AI art capture, art capture actually was launched internally last month. We have staff that are actually using it and training the AI. And then we would like to go ahead, like I said, gamify it, maybe open it up to the members and then to the visitors. The Art Detect was, the concept was launched a couple of months ago, but the actual application was in use as of yesterday. I was out in the museum. Yes, I was at the museum using it. It worked great. There are some functionalities that we are adding to it. For example, we have to run our Lambda Amazon engines. Every time that is running is costing us money per hour. So, and as you can imagine, there is going to be some times that I want to turn that off when it's not being used. So I want to put functionalities that the visitors are aware when the application is running and when it's not. Hopefully I will have funding to run it every time we are open. And I'm always looking for funding for projects. So there are a couple of things that we're adding. We're hoping to launch everything by January, testing by December, launching January/February timeline.
Very cool.
And I have to also mention that again, being a nonprofit and being low in resources, we were very lucky to partner with the JP Morgan Chase Technology Center, and they run a program called Force for Good every year, where they select a nonprofit organization. And this year, or the last year, was they were emphasizing on AI project, and they selected us, and that's how I was able to get 6 developers, a project manager. I had about 9 people from JP Morgan Chase for 6 months to help my internal team to be able to develop this project together.
Wow. Yeah, that's an awesome commitment from JP Morgan Chase. So thanks to them.
Yeah, and they actually reached out to me and asked me to apply for the next year, which application is due on November, and which I'm hoping to for them to select us for my conversation with art project as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I noticed that your slide at the very beginning talked about 2030. So is that the time frame in which the administration at the museum considers this building project is going to be funded and built, or just funded? How does that work?
It's all on the board.
Yeah.
I mean
Okay.
yeah. I mean we are starting the capital campaign now.
Yep.
And then we know that every organization that goes through a capital campaign, they start the construction once they hit about 70% of that what they're trying to raise.
Sure.
So based on that, and of course amount of work that we're doing is we know the construction is going to take a couple of years. So based on that, the timeline is around 2030 years.
Got it. And then will the museum be open during construction, or is it only going to be online, and then all of your stuff really comes into the forefront?
None of that have been decided. Like I said, we have a very experienced committee that's working to make those decisions. But we're fully capable of doing things online and offline. So from a technology department, I'm gearing up to do more virtual galleries as well, and doing more things on the web to make sure that we stay relevant in case there are some decisions that made. But yeah, nothing has been, no decision has been made, and of course we're going to try to stay open. Absolutely.
Well, for those that don't know, if you haven't been to the Dallas Museum of Art in the last 5 years or so, it's extraordinary experience. They have great art. It is local. It's really close. So go check out the Dallas Museum of Art. And Amir, the things that you and your staff are doing to really elevate art in the Dallas area and in Texas, the country, is pretty amazing. So look forward to hearing more about this as you get further down the road. But what you've done already is extraordinary. And I look forward, both as a member and as a friend of yours, to helping you experience it and bring it into life.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Sure thing. All right, I think we have the questions that we're going to get so far. Let me see. I'm going to bring Brian back. Brian, do you have any questions for Amir? I asked mine as we were going through.
Yeah, and one of the things I was thinking about while he was talking, it was by the way, Amir, fascinating topic and fascinating things that you're doing there, and really enjoyed hearing about the activities there. That is a beautiful museum, and art is playing a significant role in this area for sure. But one of the things I was thinking of is, as you were talking, I was thinking, are you looking at implementing any kind of virtual reality of simulating a walkthrough, if you will, of the physical gallery? I got to thinking about, how that would interact with AI, and how you could have this realistic, experience that would just be interesting. And I was just kind of curious if that's been some of the discussion as well.
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, during the COVID time, we did about 6 or 7 virtual galleries that are online right now. So if you do go to dma.org under exhibition, under virtual exhibitions, virtual galleries, you'll be able to actually do exactly what you just said. With your mouse, you could actually walk through the actual galleries.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I definitely would recommend you go and look at those. They're pretty cool.
So, okay. So, because when I thought you were talking about, we could see each exhibit and you would click on each one, but what you actually did is presented the gallery in a way to actually physically walk through virtually, right? So
Yeah.
wow, that's even more impressive. Okay, that's really neat.
Thank you.
I'll have to definitely go do that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that those will work on a phone too, right, Amir? On
Yeah,
iPhone
they work, they work on the phone. I found it much easier on a computer using my mouse than finger, but that's an age thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, if you only have your phone and you're trying it, I was able to get around a little bit. I was looking for a particular piece, and whenever they did the recording for the VR, that piece was not where it was the last time I was at the museum. So I don't know where it is in there, but anyway, it's all good. All right. So Brian, any other questions that you have for Amir?
Let me look and see on the different things, see if there's any other questions that we got. I don't see any just offhand on the different browsers. I don't see any, but
yeah, I think we've already I've already asked the questions that I saw.
Okay.
All right, very good. Well, Amir, you're welcome to stay with us if you'd like to go through the chapter business that we have to cover. We covered a little bit of it at the beginning as you were coming in, or you can take an evening off since you have the award ceremony tonight or tomorrow night. And we wish you well on that and look forward to hearing the good news.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Brian, we're going to go back into our presentation. One of the things that I want to make sure that everybody understands is that next month, October 17th, Joe Vaughn, who's the CTO at MoneyGram, is going to come, and he's been doing some technology innovation in the fintech arena that is going to be pretty exciting. A lot of the things that he's talking about have already been disclosed in the news, but unless you're really close to the fintech, you won't know what it is that he's been doing. But he's going to share it here, so you'll have to come back on October 17th to hear the pioneering progress that they're doing at MoneyGram in the fintech revolution, both the triumphs and the trials in moving that technology forward.
That sounds great. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a great conversation. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about the things that we're doing with Keith Thode and his Advanced Net Labs?
Yeah, this is exciting, Mike, and it's a great announcement that we're having, and it's really going to come even more, is have a partnership here with the Academy and Cornerstone Work Ready Academy and the platform to offer a lot of different types of content, training content, and certificates, courses that our members and our ecosystem will be able to take advantage of. And there's so many different trainings out there, and we have to continue to enhance our skills, enhance our marketability, if you will. But and we can do that through so many different avenues. But this will be one that offers literally thousands of courses and hundreds of different types of certificates. So if somebody is looking to transform their career, change their career, maybe they're stuck in a dead end and they want out and they want to go do something different. This could be an opportunity for that individual to take a significant jump in their career and leap forward. And so we're excited to partner with him and get this going. And we'll have more, obviously, information coming in the next rollouts, but very big excitement news. And we're so excited about it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Brian. So likewise, one of our other partners has provided a special resource page. So it's Brian Howard, who runs a small organization called Job Seeker Pro. You'll find him on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, I think all of those, and then maybe others. But he has his email here. It's brian@jobseeker.pro. And then there's a special resource page for AITP members at jobseeker.pro/AITP. I think when he was here last time, he said he's never done that for anybody else, but he did it for us. So we appreciate you, Brian, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Brian talked about this when he was Brian Williams, that is, talked about our partnerships when he was introducing the benefits of being a part of AITP. We were actually here at the second Elevate IT in Texas this year. Brian and Harish and Akshay and I attended the Dallas Technology Summit back in June. And today I was able to host the Houston Technology Summit CIO working group talk that we had here. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the title. It was the strategic IT. It's been a long day. Sorry.
Yes.
But it was a great panel. We had a tremendous conversation with our audience. As I want to do, I went and asked people what they wanted to know. And we just about threw out every question that we had prepped before we got going. But the panel did a great job. CIOs at the City of Houston, Prairie View A&M, Diamond, which is a oil and gas company, and I can't remember the last one, but anyway, lots of different industries, lots of different inputs and great conversations. So these partner events are one of the best parts of being a member. And with the AITP code, you were able to attend free of charge. As a partner, I also provide a couple of other services with broadcast, obviously broadcasting these AITP chapter meetings, but I have some really in-depth conversations with a Virtue Masters facilitator, Donna Wheatcroft, or Vivek Kashyap, who's a DirecTV IT pro, who also does mindfulness, all kinds of great topics and things like that. You can find that at YouTube, and all that's free of charge as well. I think we already talked about membership value at some level before. I will just mention that it's only $6.99 per month. Now, there is a little bit of a finance charge that Meetup provides that runs it up to $91 per year. We do consider you a small M member if you follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or X. But if you want to join and get access to some of the more advanced things, codes in advance, and the training that we'll be providing, that's $6.99 per month. And you can go to Meetup, look us up, a Lone Star, AITP Lone Star, and then sign up there. We already talked about Joe. Brian, do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about tonight?
I don't think so, but I'll tell you what, this was exciting information about the Dallas Museum of Art, and
Yes.
I'm so glad you had a good time in Houston. I wish I could have made it, and but definitely want to attend the next one and build that market value out to where we can, get our brand out there for the AITP in the different areas.
Absolutely, and I think hopefully we'll have quite a few people here from Houston that in order to get their stamp, they signed up as a follower on AITP Lone Star. So we got a bunch of those today.
Awesome. That's exciting.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you, Brian. I appreciate everybody for being here. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell on whatever platform you're on. We're here to serve you, and we look forward to seeing you on October 17th with Joe Vaughn. Thanks, Brian, again, and we'll see everybody soon. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.